Welcome back to Remade in California. We're the show that explores people who are launching new careers and businesses or simply reinventing themselves. Joining us is Joshua Fredenberg. Joshua is the president and founder of the Circle of Change Leadership Conference at World Leaders Institute. Josh, tell us about the Circle of Change Leadership Institute.
Yeah, first of all, it's a pleasure to be on the show.
Oh, thanks for
so much
joining
for having
us.
me
This is
and all
great.
that
This
wonderful
is great.
stuff. So, Circle of
Appreciate
Change is a national leadership conference that prepares student leaders for career leadership success. And so the way in which we do that is we bring together the top collegiate speakers in the country, along with executives from about 50 to 70 different companies, and really gives students access not only to learn what I call the unwritten rules of success that you won't get on in school, but also they're motivated, they network, and it's just an incredible program that we've been doing. That's an award-winning program, and we just continue to impact lives each year, and it's been incredibly to see the growth of it.
And it's headquartered, the conference usually, you were saying, is Dominguez Hills?
Yes, it's been at Dominguez Hills for the past 4 years.
Okay.
We started at Long Beach State University, and just this year we actually expanded to a regional conference at the University of Houston downtown.
Okay.
So we're starting to expand out because of the impact, and also in the collegiate market, there's no conference that does what we do. The only campus that I think was near this is they do a conference at Harvard.
Okay.
But there's no other conference that does what we do as far as leadership and career success presented together.
So tell me, what are the 3 or 4 traits that are needed to be a leader? I
Yeah.
mean, I know I've got them.
Right.
But somebody
Exactly.
else wanted them.
Absolutely. I think there's so many different things. I have a book called 40 Questions You Should Consider Before You Begin to Lead.
Okay.
And so there's so many things when you come to leadership, but I think number one, we have to deal with vision. I think it's impossible to be a leader if you don't have a vision.
Okay.
I think number two, it's about people. And so I think you have to have a servant leadership or servant's heart and have a heart for people, have a heart to develop people, have a heart to make people better.
Makes
I
sense.
think number three, we have to deal with emotional intelligence because I think a lot of leadership has to do with your emotions and being able to keep your emotions in check, being able to say the right thing at the right time. And then lastly, I think it's character. I think the CEO of Starbucks said, and I quote, he said, "Without character, nothing else matters." And I think at the end of the day, you can be gifted, you can dress good, you can be competent, but if you don't have integrity, if you don't have a work ethic, if you don't understand how to meet the demands of the job as well as the people you serve, it's going to be very tough to succeed as a leader in the 21st century.
Yeah.
And so those are 4 key things that I think are really
Yeah,
important.
and certainly vision coupled with character gives you a bit of a roadmap.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because it's one thing just to be a leader and
Right.
not want to go somewhere, but you're saying that.
Yeah, you got to have the character.
And so when you deal with younger leaders in your conferences, or just in general, what do you see the differences between, say, the newer generation of leaders versus
Well, I think
older?
I think one of the differences that I see that we hear a lot about in studies is resourcefulness and the word grit, or I like to use the word resiliency.
Okay.
I think the older generation was much more resilient, much more resourceful, much more figuring things out on their own. Whereas this younger generation, they're not as resourceful, they're not as resilient. They can give up more easily, I think, than former generations. Another concept is transformational leadership. I think in years past there was a transactional leader. Where we go forward, I think transformational leadership is where it's headed, where you have an interest in not only transforming an organization, but also transforming the people in which you serve as a leader.
That's interesting. So you're seeing maybe, now is that true for the younger leaders, that they're more interested in transforming things,
Oh, absolutely.
making things
I
different?
believe you have to be a transformational leader in the 21st century to succeed.
Yeah.
You have to have the interest of developing people. You have to have the interest in making things better. This whole thing in marketing, what they call social cause marketing,
Sure.
what you're starting to discover is you're seeing when people stand up for certain things and push for certain initiatives, it catches the attention of the younger generation.
I deal with a lot of leadership in the television industry, and one of the things they say about young people in their work is they really have to be told why they're doing something.
Right. Yep.
You know, that there isn't just enough to, well, just do it.
Right.
They need a purpose.
Right. Exactly. So this is the purpose-driven leadership.
That's right.
Exactly. I call it the passionate reason why you do what you do.
Okay.
And I
So
think
talk a little bit about purpose-driven leadership.
So purpose is a very ambiguous word. I think it's something that all people look for. But I think Simon Sinek said it the best. You know, it's really about finding that why. It's really finding the passionate reason why you do what you do. It's a really simple question, but it can be so ambiguous to so many people.
Sure.
But it's really just asking yourself the question, why am I a doctor? Why am I a lawyer? Why am I in government? Why does this really matter? Because at the end of the day, what we've discovered is when you're leading with what they call your why, what it does is it elevates your performance, It inspires you.
Right.
It helps you inspire others. It gives you passion. And it also helps you to overcome challenges in your life. I tell people all the time, there's certain things I've been able to do in my life that I didn't think I could do because I was grounded in purpose, which is the reason why you do what you do.
Sure. So the California education system,
Okay.
how are they doing this job?
I think they're okay.
Okay.
I think we have a lot of work to do. You have a
Okay.
lot of people that are teaching leadership programs but have no leadership training,
Okay.
Which can be kind of scary to say the least. And I learned this through there's a
Just
book.
like with the drones we had on, you got to learn how to fly them.
You gotta
right?
learn how to fly. Exactly. You gotta learn things.
Oh.
And that's one of the reasons I started Circle of Change. I saw a lot of people use the word leader, but
Right.
not only actually I understand what leadership is.
Yeah.
And so what you have on certain levels is you have people have the name leaders, but are you really developing leaders? Do you really have the construct and the programs to develop the leaders that we need to develop?
So how do you work with the community colleges and other college systems?
Well, yes.
What is your
Yeah, so what I do, well, number one, I have the conference. So
Okay.
I invite colleges and campuses,
pulling
send
people from
students
all
there.
over.
I also speak on campuses, so I'll go there to visit.
Okay.
And we also created a curriculum. That's where the World Leaders Institute comes in.
Okay.
And really, it's a 10-month program where students can engage not only in leadership concepts, but go through activities, go through assessments, go through reflection, so they can really not only understand, but really begin to apply these to their life.
how important is it?
I think it's vitally important. I think there was a study I seen at Harvard really brings this point home. They asked a group of people, they said, how important is leadership? And 80% said that leadership affects the state of a community or a nation. And I think that can be true. When you have effective leadership, your community changes, your nation changes, your family changes. And we see this in athletics all the time. When you bring in a Phil
Great
Jackson
example.
or a great
Yeah,
coach,
right.
the team gets better.
Right.
But when you replace that coach with someone else, all of a sudden things begin to fall apart.
Wow.
And so I think that's a good picture of the power of leadership.
That's a great. And so what defines a student leader? I mean, how would you see within that system? What do they need to be?
Well, I think there's a lot of definitions when you come to leadership. So I'll just go to my scholastics definition.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the ability to influence people to a certain destination to make an impact. So when we do it leadership, number one, you have a vision. Number two, you have ability to influence, to motivate to a specific destination to make the world a better place.
Yeah, and of course they're the people who are going to be running the world soon.
Exactly.
So,
So-
if not now,
In the future.
in my household.
Right. Exactly.
But talk a little bit about specifically people that might be going back to a community college and how they can tap into some of the things that you're talking about in terms of purpose-driven.
Yeah, well, I think one of the ways, I know there's more community colleges that are offering leadership study classes.
Oh, great.
So there's leadership. I've seen some that offer that.
Right.
Also, certain campuses have what they call leadership academies.
Right.
And so get involved with leadership academies. Also get involved with student activities, with student government.
Okay.
I think that's another way to get involved with leadership.
Oh, that's a
To
perfect
put your
example.
leadership,
Okay.
actually to begin to work
On-the-job training.
Exactly, on-the-job training.
Yeah,
But they also have
that's
like
great.
retreats and other programs that they have as well. But in addition to that, I mean, there's so many resources on leadership as far as online programs, as far as just going online, listening to speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a variety of resources out there. You just have to have the heart to go out there and do it. And I always say get involved, because involved, you actually get to put it to work.
Right.
So it's one thing to hear it, it's another thing to actually do it.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of success stories out there. Are you optimistic with our future leaders?
I'm optimistic. I think we have the potential. We just need the development.
Okay.
And I just think also, I don't necessarily know if it's just leadership. I also think culture and environment makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So if you have a certain culture or a way of doing things, and you put a leader there that may have all the skill sets in the world, if that culture is cancerous, then the leader can't really do their job.
Yeah.
And so I think in our society today, there's a lot of environment and cultural stuff that has to be changed as well for leaders to really flourish.
Is a mentor different than a leader? Is that two different things?
I think it's different. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
different. Yeah, but I think mentorship is great.
Yeah.
I like sponsorship more, people that sponsor you.
Oh.
That actually, mentor is good because they're going to teach you, they're going to guide you.
Okay.
But I think this day we're going to deal with access. You need someone that's going to go to bat for you.
So thanks, Josh.
Thank you too.
For
Appreciate
joining us.
Yes.
For more information about Joshua and how you can become a leader, visit him at visionxy.com. And for more information on how California's community colleges can help you be remade in California, go to doingwhatmatters.cccco.edu.